Alright, hey, it's Tony again from Nutshell Productions, and I'm going to talk to you about something that's very serious that affects just about everybody sometime in their life, some more than others like me, and that's fear. That's living in fear. Now for my type of depression personally, fear is probably the worst emotion of all because it cripples me. Fear will turn to guilt, even just guilt of being alive. Fear of the unknown. Sometimes it's so intense you'll do anything to stop it. Anything. And that's why it can become very dangerous. So I researched the best medical books I could find for the best doctors, the best people, because I don't believe everybody who's amazing at helping people out are just doctors. Unfortunately, they really don't have a big voice, but they're good. And I put together an acronym called the SOON acronym, because I put down SOON because soon, hopefully, you'll be feeling good and not in fear. And the reason I'm tackling fear is because fear can turn into so many things. Very dangerous emotion if it's not used correctly. Alright, so the S in the SOON acronym. S is you want to separate the fear from yourself. What I mean by that is label the fear. Give it a name. I call mine Lord Chaos. Because you're recognizing that the fear is not you. It's just a piece of your mind that is trying to protect you from the world. Unfortunately, 99% of the time, we don't need that piece anymore. We don't need that fight or flight or those worries because it's a waste of time. But if you separate it from your core, then you realize that, hey, this emotion isn't necessarily me, and it kind of gives you hope that it's not just a part of you, that it doesn't have to just stay with you. It's separate from you. So realize that it's there, label it, give it a name, give it a voice. Completely different than from who you are. That's the S part. Now bear with me, okay? This is going to start making sense. The first O in the SOON acronym is ounces versus pounds. What I mean by this is, let's say that your fear actually comes into realization. Well, most of the time when we think this thing is going to be terrible beyond belief, our imagination is going nuts. We think of it as pounds. This is going to be huge. In reality, most of the time, if the fear actually comes into play, which 9 out of 10 times it never does, it's only in ounces. It's never as bad as we imagine it to be. You got to remember that. It's never as bad as you imagine it to be. We are hardwired to think of the worst case scenarios. Isn't that crazy? Our mind, in trying to protect us, really can cause a lot of damage if it's not put into check. Alright, the next part of the acronym is the next O, and that is you want to, how do I say this? Operate from love. This is what I mean by that. You cannot feel love and happiness and fear and hatred at the same time. It's impossible to do. Just like multitasking is not real. We can only have one emotion really at the same time. Now they can switch back and forth real quick. That's true. And you can feel like you're feeling multiple emotions at once. But in reality, you can only feel one at a time. So if you can cultivate love within you, then you're going a long way in stopping the fear. If you can cultivate that feeling of love, start thinking of like puppies or a moment that happened in your life when you felt safe, when you felt secure, or think of a really funny person, think about their jokes, and then for a couple moments that fear is just going to disappear. And then when the fear comes back, like, oh yeah, I forgot I was even afraid about something. You know those moments in life when someone just cracks some jokes at work and all of a sudden you're just laughing and having a good time, like boom, just right out of it, just like that. It can't happen that fast. Think of your brain as like a bunch of rooms. When you're in the fear room, you want to get out of that room. And you can do it. There are many ways to do it. I'm going to make a video on how to get out of that room and to feel love, how to cultivate love and good emotions. And now for the N in the SOON acronym, that's going to be north, west, south, and east. Now let me tell you about this, okay? That just means follow the fear, follow it. The what is. So what if it comes true, then what? And if that comes true, then what? And I'll give you an example of a small one. Let's say I just want to talk to somebody. I want to talk to my boss for a raise. Now, I could be afraid of her completely rejecting it, and then I feel embarrassed. Okay, so I ask for the raise and she rejects me and I feel embarrassed. Then what? Then around here I'm going to be embarrassed? Okay, so what? Then time goes on and then the embarrassment will probably start alleviating and things will be good. It's just following the fear. It's just following it. And you realize it's really not that bad. Or you want to talk to that person. Oh, they reject you. So what? You know, it's like, and you can play around with this just with small fears, and you can go like the bigger fears. But you have to realize this, that fear is just an emotion. You can actually live your entire life without feeling any fear, without feeling any worry. It's an incredible thing once you start realizing that you have the power. Most of us don't believe we have that power, including myself half the time. I feel I'm just a slave to my emotions, that I don't have like a rudder in my boat and I just kind of go along, you know, when the storms come and everything, when in fact we can control how we feel. And it just takes time and it just takes practice. Why they don't teach us this earlier in life, I don't know. But it's very true. You are in control. So that's just a small acronym to help you